Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me.
Good morning. You are listening to KSQD Santa Cruz, K-Squid 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org. I am Catherine Bell, and this is the Dream Journal, a weekly show where we explore the healing powers of your nighttime dreams through conversations with dream experts and with you.
Stars fading, but I linger on, dear, still craving you.
In the words of Carl Jung, who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Well, today is a very special day for the Dream Journal. We are doing an all-caller show, something I only do a few times a year. So I'm excited and wondering what's going to happen. You never know on the all-caller days. So we also Ask Me Anything. Plus the celebration of Juneteenth, which is now an official federal holiday. So the phones are open right now. You are welcome to call in anytime. Max is standing by. The number to call is 831-900-5773, or you can email me here at the studio at onair@ksqd.org. The number again is 831-900-5773, and the email is onair@ksqd.org. So we have the equinox, we have Juneteenth, and we have the finish of the IASD conference, which was this week from Sunday through Thursday, a 5-day conference. And so if any of you who were at the conference, I would love to hear about your conference experiences. What were the most fun things for you? What did you learn? What have you been dreaming about? So I would love to hear from you. 831-900-5773. I am Catherine Bell of Experiential Dreamwork, and welcome to the Dream Journal. The Dream Journal is also a podcast, so you can look for that on all of your regular podcast places. And you also can go to the KSQD website where replays are available, and that's at ksqd.org/the-dream-journal. So look for the Dream Journal, review it, and subscribe, and most importantly, just tell a friend. It really helps people to find the show. I think word of mouth is the best way to learn about something. And so share your interest in your dreams, and that is my mission on this show, is to spread the interest in dreams. And I am very passionate about dreams, and if you are interested in them, it may be an opportunity for you to start a conversation with a friend about dreams. So, we know that sharing dreams with each other is one of the best ways to deepen the dream work. So you could start by telling them about the Dream Journal. Why not? So the phones again are open, 831-900-5773. I'm going to go ahead and start with my personal dream work. There's been a couple different dreams around in my mind this morning. And I guess I'll start with a dream that is very interesting to me, which is very, very tender dream of seeing my father by a car stopped in the freeway, and he is out on the pavement and he's got parts all around him. He's trying to fix his car, and it's in the middle of the freeway, and people are zipping by, and I see him, and I stop and go over and like, Dad, we got to get some help here. This isn't safe. And I put out some old cones that I find, and it's just a really tender moment for me, where I can connect with my dad. And my dad's doing poorly lately. He has Parkinson's, but he's in good hands. My mom's taking care of him back in Massachusetts, and it's just really kind of an opportunity to connect with my feelings about my dad. And so I'm really glad to have received this dream. So we have a caller on the line. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Amanda, and I'm calling from Santa Cruz.
Oh, wonderful, Amanda. So glad you called in. Are you a regular listener?
Yeah, you and I have conversed several times, email and live.
Oh, fantastic! I'm so glad. I'm glad that to have you call. What's going on for you today? What would you like to share?
Well, I have told you before that I've had some twisted dreams and strange visions and things like that when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I had a dream, and I'm wondering if you can kind of analyze it for me a little bit.
Sure.
It was a dream that I had. I was in my boyfriend's bed in his parents' home, and my sister was in the bed with me. And she had no clothes on, and she was kissing me. And that makes me insane.
So what do you mean? What does that feel like for you? What is that feeling?
It feels pretty oogie, is what it feels like.
Okay. It's too much.
And I don't know what my mind is doing.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, now I'm remembering some of the dreams that we've talked about, and I think your sister has come up before. That there's
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So like, if I'm remembering right, that you're kind of not on very good terms with your sister.
Correct.
Yeah, and so to have her show up naked in your bed, kissing you, or your boyfriend's bed, is kind of intense. But
it's disturbing.
Disturbing. Have you? How have your feelings shifted for her lately, or just not, whether they've shifted or not? Like, what have you been feeling about it? Just in the last week or two, like. Is there anything kind of opening up? Because this feels like there's a kind of a connection trying to open up here, even though it doesn't feel right and you don't want it, but something's trying or something.
I have no idea. It wasn't a dream that I had like this week. It happened a week or two ago.
Yeah, okay. Right. But so in your waking experience, there's been no shift in your feelings about your sister. It just is not going well. Is that one way to say?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's standard right now. Same as it was before.
Okay. Well, I know that there's this feeling of like, well, I don't know. So this is tricky because sometimes the dream point of view has a kind of a limited perspective, but then again, that is where we're seeing things from. And so I want to respect that. I want to take that into account, the fact that this feels really uncomfortable. Like, maybe, does it feel invasive? Or that's your boyfriend's bed, I think you said, right? In your parents' house even? Was that?
In his parents' house.
His parents' house. Okay. And your boyfriend isn't there, I take it?
No. It's just me and my sister.
Okay. Well, here's something that I'm curious about, like, how's it going with your boyfriend? I mean, just, you don't even have to answer anything personal, but you might just consider, if this were my dream, I'd be wondering, is there anything going on with my boyfriend that I might be getting some clues about, anything uncomfortable going on that perhaps reminds me of my relationship with my sister? That's, just the way I would be thinking about it as one of the questions I could ask.
Yeah, there's nothing in relation to him and me and her. He also has bad feelings towards my sister as well.
Okay, right. Right.
So, yeah, the whole thing don't make no sense.
Well, okay, so here's one interesting thing that I've noticed about dreams, that as I work on a relationship with somebody in a dream, like any dream character, whether I recognize them from waking life or not, that it impacts all of my waking life relationships. That there's some way that, that I am the fulcrum of my life, and the way that I show up in a relationship really affects all of my relationships. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Well,
I know she'd like to be a part of in my life, back in my life.
Oh, she would. But you're not interested.
Yeah. No. So
clearly.
So part of that, I kind of get that feeling that was part of the dream. That she'd like to have that connection still.
Right.
But I don't.
Did you used to be close?
I wouldn't say close. No.
Okay. 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 But there's a way that she would like to be closer than she is now.
Correct.
Yeah. And in the dream, she's way too close.
She's way too close.
Way. Right. So like like that feeling of being in the bed with her, the feeling of yuck, like no. Like you just maybe take a moment, and if you're willing to just kind of feel that, even a yucky feeling, but sometimes we push away yucky feelings, of course, because they don't feel good. But you're taking a minute to feel that, and like kind of viscerally, where do you feel it in your body? So like in your shoulders or in your belly or
in my chest.
In your chest. Oh, tell me about it. Is it like a contraction?
Like a breathing, like I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe.
Okay, something about breathing.
But like kind of a gasped type of feeling.
Oh, kind of like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So interesting. So breathing is a very powerful thing that we do with our bodies, and we do all day, every day. And we need to exhale and inhale, and it happens all the time. But we also can control our breath to some degree. And I'm wondering if you can focus on your breath for a moment, because even if you have this feeling of like, like to notice right now that the breath is still proceeding. It goes moving in and out. Maybe let yourself deepen it a little if that feels okay. And
I'm wondering if there's a thing there that the whole thing makes the whole idea of, excuse me, a relationship or something being involved with her makes me feel yucky.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It does seem like that. There's something like it's like right in the center of your chest, right in the deepest, it's just the heart of the matter.
Oh yeah, and it's just like no.
Okay. Right. And it's entirely fine to like put distance in our relationships if we need to, and that there is a way that is an extremely useful way of managing relationships. Sometimes we can say, well, yes, my relationship with you right now is to have you very far away.
Right.
And it's still a relationship, but it's a far away one. And in the dream, there's no respecting of that boundary.
Yuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to tell you about another dream I had if you have time.
Sure, that'd be fine. I will just say, and I just want to just give the number out again. We do have 2 lines, so if someone wants to call in and get in the queue, you're welcome to call at 831-900-5773, and we'll get you queued up. But go ahead, Amanda. Yeah.
I'll keep it quick.
It's okay. Don't worry. These shows, you never know who's going to call.
All the time, I'm always dreaming. Every night I dream. But I had a dream of a friend of mine. She's having trouble with her adult daughter.
Oh.
And she believes her daughter's using drugs, and she's got 2 granddaughters that she's concerned about. And I had this dream. She's a surfer, this woman, friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And in this dream, she has a home that's a cavern that opens up onto the sea. And she can see the waves as they come in. And it's kind of, the inside of the place is kind of like a Flintstone style. It's got all rock and stuff like that for walls. And her father had recently passed away. And outside of this cavern, there's these roses. And you can see the birds in there. And her father would always feed the birds. And I shared this dream with her, and it just made her day.
Oh.
It lifted her up in a time when she was feeling, things are going really wrong.
Right.
So I thought that was an interesting thing, that I had a dream for a friend.
Right. It was a really kind of Yeah, I love that you shared it with her. That's really beautiful, and she really could take it in. And what about for you, Amanda? Can you take in this space as well for yourself, this beautiful cavern looking out over the sea?
Well, it felt like it was a dream for her.
Yeah.
it was like she's a surfer, and that's her thing, is doing that. And I love being near the ocean myself.
Okay. Well, let's take that love being near the ocean and because maybe the dream gets to be for many people, for the dreamer, for our friends, for the community. Is there a piece of it here for you? I'm looking to kind of balance the first dream, to find some way that I get to feel supported and I get to be in a beautiful place.
I feel like it was more like I had this dream in hopes that her family will be all right.
Mm-hmm. So there's
Because
like a
having
tenderness there.
Yeah, they're having a really hard time. So
Right.
I kind of felt like maybe this dream gives some hope,
Right.
type of thing.
Well, I'm taking this dream a little bit for myself as well, since I whenever we share a dream, then we get to have that dream for ourselves. And so if I'm feeling like there's a tenderness for me about your family and you and your sister, and hoping that you can find some peace for yourself. Whether you ever actually get together with her again or not isn't as important, but I think I'm just finding that this meaningful dream is touching me and wishing you peace about your decisions and your relationships and your family as well as for your friends.
Interesting. I don't think I recall ever having a dream like this that would help assist someone else
Right.
in maybe feeling better, type of thing.
Well, I can also ask you this, that when you shared the dream with her and she said she felt better, did that make you feel better as well?
It actually surprised me.
Yeah, okay, take it surprise. Surprise is always a really welcome thing. It's always an interesting thing. It's not always welcome. Sometimes surprises aren't pleasant, but this was a good surprise, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I thought it was an interesting dream, and I thought she would, appreciate it, but it really made her feel good. So that was the surprise of it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take a second, and I want to breathe into that surprise, like I was, shared this with her, and she really felt good about it, and I get to be that for other people. Like I get to be their good news, their comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it takes some courage to share the dream with your friend and to share with me on the air. Thank you, Amanda. I hope you got a little insight of just from sharing the dream.
Yeah, I did.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Amanda, and hope to talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Catherine.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
So this is the Dream Journal. You are listening to K-Squid 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org. And this is an all-caller Dream Journal, and we have another caller on the air. But before I say hello, I'd like to put the number out because now we have our second line available. So the number is 831-900-5773. You're welcome to call in and get in the queue. So hello, caller. Welcome to the Dream Journal.
Hello, Catherine. It's Susan Ackerman Joseph calling.
Hey, Susan. Good to hear from you. You've been a multiple-time guest, and good to have you. And it's good to see you at the conference just a few days ago.
It was great to see you, and I'm calling because I didn't get a chance to say hi to you at the conference. I saw you. I saw your name in the Zoom room, and I saw your face.
Yep.
We never actually had a chance to say hello.
No, we didn't. Well, being a Zoom conference, it was a little hard to connect with our friends. That is true. We were all in our homes, but I'm so glad you called, Susan. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to really thank you, Catherine, for all you did for the conference.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think I ever properly thanked you for helping corral us.
Yeah, herding cats for sure. Dreamers are very cat.
Yeah, and it was such an amazing effort on everybody's part.
Yeah.
That it was really a beautiful experience. So even though I didn't get to see you, I did not leave feeling bereft of connection.
Oh, good.
Because there were so many opportunities for connection.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if there's something you'd like to share with us, either a highlight of the conference or a dream or what's going on for you?
I would, because I think it reflects It may, Amanda's dream that she just shared
Yeah.
reminded me of something I went through and a healing I had at the dream conference.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
So when I was young,
Mm-hmm.
more than 35 years ago, my mother died. I was right before my 23rd birthday, and she was young too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, of course, heartbroken.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, for years, my mother would visit me in my dreams.
Mm.
And in my dreams, for those years after her death, she was amazing. She was successful, she was happy, she was shiny, and she was always on her way to other people other than me. She didn't want to stay with me anymore.
Mm.
And I would have these dreams, and they just broke my heart.
Mm.
At the conference, and these dreams stayed with me for years. I stopped having them,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the relationship between me and my mother in these dreams. She would be shiny, I would be bereft.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the keynote speaker's talk the first day, Dr. Fanny Brewster.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And she is a sage.
Yes, absolutely. She is. She's very inspiring. Yes.
Some people are their embodiment is just to be in their presence, and she's one of those people.
Mm-hmm.
And she was talking about dreams she had of her mother.
Mm.
And she was talking about perspective in dreams. And at this point, I don't remember exactly what she said, but something profoundly shifted in me, because she was talking about the relationship of our waking ego, or even the dream ego that we bring into the dream, and how it can be so persuasive, we forget that we are the creators of the dream. The dream is an emergence of our experience. And somehow what I got was, I freed my mother.
Oh.
I made my mother as the dreamer. I made her shiny and free and fulfilled in a way she could not be in her life.
Oh, wow.
And so that, although as her young daughter I was bereft, as a kindred spirit, as a soul, as somebody who loved her and wanted her suffering to truly be over because her life was full of suffering. In my dream, she embodied her potential.
All right. In some ways, she got to be the woman she didn't get to be in life, in these
That's
dreams.
right.
Yeah. And you gave her that gift, really. That's the way I look at it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It took me 35 years to get that.
Yeah. Right. What does that feel like for you? Like, where do you feel that in your body, if it's okay to go there, Susan? She's laughing because Susan's an embodied practitioner. We know this. But yeah, it's like sometimes we need to...
Well, really what happened was I sobbed the tears of love.
Oh.
So, when we lose somebody we love, grief is so complex, right?
Yeah.
There's the tears that come from not having our beloved and missing our beloved, or regret for maybe how we behaved with our beloved.
Yes.
And then there's the tears of love that come when that love has been unexpressed for so long and unexperienced for so long. And that's what happened.
So it wasn't so much about regret as a feeling of love? Is that what I'm hearing?
It was love. It was liberation.
Yeah.
I was liberated from that horrible grief.
Yeah.
And my mother was finally liberated from being associated with that horrible grief. Right? Love is infinite.
Oh, yeah.
The love is always there. And because of that, grief can always be there as well.
Oh, yeah.
But we mitigate it. We write it, and it ebbs and flows over time. And as we negotiate our relationship to that loss. And so just shifting having that profound shift in perspective in relationship to the dream. Just getting that message. This is my dream. This is my dream world. This comes from my experience, and these characters are imbued with qualities that I gave them. Helped me in that moment get something I couldn't get for decades.
Wow. So, Susan, I wonder if you'd like to try a little experiment with me?
Sure.
Yeah. So from this new realization that you're having now, this new sense of profundity, what would it be like to re-enter the dream with your mom shining and see what your feelings are now? There might be, what is that? To see your shining mom.
So what's so interesting is immediately I'm no longer the 22-year-old when I meet her, but now I'm the 60-year-old, right?
Your current self.
And now I'm older than my mother ever was.
Right.
And now...
Oh no, I lost Susan. I'm so sorry, Susan. Can you call back, please? I'm not sure why that happened. Oh. Let's see. Let me just give a second. I think this is Susan calling right back. Yes. I'm not sure why that happened. Usually pushing that button is not a problem. Let's see. You there, Susan?
I am. And what's so interesting is I'm going to say something different than I planned to say.
Oh, okay. Oh, so maybe it was meant to be, that little glitch.
It was meant to be because so here I am as the 60-year-old relating to my mother, but part of what's happened in this process is not only did I free my mother, right? Not only can I be with her, I can relate to her now as a woman, not just as a daughter.
Yeah.
Right? Not just as the daughter who lost her mother. But also, it brings up that sense of, there's a new sense of freedom and agency within. Because that pain is no longer clouding things. And as you ask that, I'm gonna let that gestate a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because this was huge.
Yes. That is huge.
And huge things take time to settle in.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I feel like maybe we've just begun the process, and that you had these dreams over the years, and then there's a shift that's happened when you heard Fanny Brewster speak, and now there's shift as you re-enter the dream with your new awareness.
Yeah.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there a highlight of the conference for you?
Oh, yes. I had a lot of really, actually the dream ball was a lot of fun. We did an online dream ball, and I got to...
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, good. I got to show everybody my zebras all around my room, that I have zebra dream. It was very meaningful to me, 10 years ago now. 8 or 9 years ago. And so I have all these zebra things in my room. I got to show everybody my zebra blankets and my zebra pictures and my zebra statues. And that was fun to out myself as a zebraophile.
Honey, I hate to break it to you. You've been out as a zebra.
Oh, well, some people didn't know, I must say. I'm not usually very shy about that. But that was fun. And there was also some of the talks that I really enjoyed. And I wanted to talk some more about that, but we have a caller on the line, and so I actually have to take a little station break. And thank you for calling, Susan, and let's talk some more soon.
Yeah, let's. Thank you, Catherine. It's great to say hi, and I'll enjoy listening to the rest of the show.
Okay,
thank you to everyone who's calling in today.
Absolutely, I love it. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Susan. So this is the Dream Journal, and we do have a caller on the line. Please stay on the line. I have not forgotten, but I have to take a little station break here. This is the Squid, K-Squid, 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org, and you are listening to the Dream Journal.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea.
So this is The Squid, and you're listening to The Dream Journal. So we are having a all-caller show, and I would like to welcome our next caller to say hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's your name, and where are you calling from?
It's Lucille.
Hey, Lucille.
From Cambria.
I'm Cambria. Good morning. Glad to have you call.
Hi. I definitely want to attend the Dream group next year.
Ah, good. The conference will be wonderful. It's going to be in Tucson.
Oh, it's going to be all the way in Tucson.
Yeah, well, that's as close as it gets for us. Tucson in July, but yes, we're gonna get together in person, in the flesh. There'll be lots of hugging and sharing of dreams, as you can imagine.
And swapping of germs.
Well,
right?
but that's what we've been doing all along. That's how it is, and sometimes as long as they're not the deadly germs, and that's kind of like how we keep our immune system strong. I've been thinking the whole year I haven't even had a cold, and it's like a little bit like, is my immune system forgotten how to fight these things?
Yeah. Well, first I did have a dream this morning, but I want to address Susan's dream.
Oh, please.
Because last night I was watching, every so often I hook into the History Channel.
Ah, yes.
And I watched the part about aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And they have come here,
mm-hmm.
and I had this thought. This was while I was watching the program.
Mm-hmm.
It was about my mother who died in 2003, and I was thinking, I wonder if my mother is really happy now.
Oh,
because she wasn't really happy in her life.
Right. Yeah.
And but it just seems like in some aspects that I don't know what's going to happen in the beyond.
Well, yeah.
But that it might be better. It might be a more calming type of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm. Right. Do you ever dream about your mom?
No, I didn't have a dream about my mom. I had a dream about my mom years ago, which was a very. It was 6 months after she died, and I wasn't able to go to the funeral.
Oh,
but she, in the dream, she was in. I think she was in the bed. But she and I had gone to her, and she said, "Don't worry, Lucille. I've always forgiven you."
Oh wow, that's beautiful. What did it feel like to hear her say that? Were you able to take it in?
Yeah, you know me. I started crying.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful.
Because, I did have a lot of guilt behind it that was shined upon me from my brother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because they were upset with me that I didn't go back for the funeral.
So you made a choice and they didn't agree with it. They thought that was not good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But for your mother, it seemed like she forgives you.
Yeah, which that's the way our relationship always was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was very. She was the one person that loved me.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
But anyways, let me tell you about the dream. I just, you know, it was complex, but I only truly remembered like the end of the dream.
Mm-hmm.
And I never have dogs in my dream, but in this one I had a dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the dog was really beautiful. I don't know what type of dog it was, but it had kind of the reddish mahogany type of color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was, you know, the smooth kind, not a lot of hair.
Okay.
And it was really beautiful, and the owner wanted to get going, but the dog didn't want to leave me.
Oh, I wanted to be with you.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. So what is that like to be with the dog, like letting yourself be there? I mean, just kind of pausing the dream in the moment when the dog is with you.
Well, I think I had a thought that I never really cared for dogs. You know, that it's not that I don't like them, but it's just I never had one, and it was just nice that the dog really didn't want to leave.
Yeah. The dog wants to be with you. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so you know, it doesn't even in, you know, our dream life, it's not always the same as our waking life. And so maybe in waking life, you wouldn't necessarily want a dog, but in the dream, there was something about being with the dog that seems like it's really touching you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like we get to have that moment of just having the connection and whatever this is that's pulling the dog away, there's this, the owner of the dog is kind of pulling it away. And, you know, if there's all the parts of the dream are parts of me, is there like a part of me that kind of pulls away the sense of connection and togetherness? Is a part that kind of pulls me away?
Yeah, maybe it's a connection where I'm thinking how it's easy for people to not want to be with me.
So maybe the pulling away is like the way you feel like people pull away or something. Is that what you're thinking? What you're saying?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yet there's something here. There is a connection though. That the dog wants to be with you.
Right. And it touches me, but and I remember just smoothing out all the parts of his face.
Yeah.
You know, like kind of petting it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, so like feel yourself doing that, like smoothing out the face, petting the head and the sides. And what does it feel like? Do you have a feeling in your body when you're doing that? Is it like, is there a relaxation or something specific? What?
Yeah, it was peaceful.
Yeah, peaceful. Right.
And then admittedly, afterwards, you know, I'm awake at this point, and I'm thinking about it. And when I look in the mirror, I feel like I look like a dog.
Oh, Lucille.
Like I have a dog face.
Well, you know, there is the part of the dog that's a part of me. Like maybe I'm getting to get closer to myself, and like maybe there's like a good thing about the loyal dogs. The dogs are so loyal, and they love us no matter what. Like, is there a part of me, maybe I'm learning, if the dream is my dream, like, is there a way I'm learning to love myself no matter what?
I feel like I'm really reaching that. You know, a lot of times you know how you think you've gotten there? And then something happens that realizes No, Lucille, you're still insulting yourself.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't been feeling that way lately.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I've
Ooh.
been comfortable with
Wow.
the journey I'm going on right now.
Yeah. Well, sometimes those voices, they can still be there, but we just don't pay so much attention to them. Like, oh yeah, that's that one. That voice is being mean to me. That voice is, saying I don't look a certain way, or that voice is pulling me away from the dog. But we don't have to necessarily pay attention. We get to stay with the dog, stay with the peace and the connection, and sometimes we'll pull ourselves away. But
Right.
I'm so excited that you're finding more peace in your life, Lucille.
Oh, thank you.
That is huge.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, have you ever gotten down to Hearst Castle
I-
and seen the zebras?
I have, years and years ago. It's always a thing. I used to stay at San Simeon Campground, and then we go out to the beaches, and every time we pass the castle, we'd look for the zebras, because they have herds of zebras sometimes they're down by the road, and I have seen zebras there before, but not in years. It's been a long time.
Yeah, we don't see them as much as it used to be, but I started working there in 2003, and I there were so many different animals I came across.
Yeah, I guess Hearst had a whole menagerie. He had all kinds of animals there for a while, but the zebras survived.
Almost like a zoo,
Right.
But then they slowly started getting rid of most of them, and I thought at one point that they got rid of all those zebras, but they haven't. There's still a few left.
Well,
So
yes,
come
thank you.
on down.
All right, gotta see those zebras. Yes. Well, thank you, Lucille, and I'm so glad you called in and shared those dreams. And speaking, I just wanted to take another second and say that you took the courage to call in and speak that you're feeling more peaceful now, that there is a way that things are changing for you, and there could be a backlash. There'll be like moments when you're like, oh, why did I say that, or oh, it's just as bad as ever. But those are those voices. Maybe that's the person with the leash pulling the dog away. It's like, no, you can't have the dog now.
Right.
But your truth is, that you're growing and changing, and that you can feel the dog and imagine yourself petting the face of the dog and things like that.
Well, I got excited and needed to call you because it was like, Catherine, I had a dream.
Yay!
I remembered it.
I'm so glad you did, Lucille.
Okay.
All right, take care.
You have a wonderful weekend.
All right, thanks, you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So this is the Squid. We have another caller on the line. I'm just going to say the words. This is K-Squid, 90.7 FM, streaming live at ksqd.org, and you are listening to The Dream Journal. It's an all-caller, Ask Me Anything. Juneteenth celebration. We have one line open. We have one line caller, but you're welcome to call in. We have time for one or two more. 831-900-5773, or you can send me an email at onair, ONAIR, at ksqd.org. So I'd like to say hello to the caller. Hello.
Hi, it's Sylvia from Canada.
Hey, Sylvia. Thanks for calling. Thanks for waiting while we were talking to Lucille. And I'm so glad you called. What's going on for you today?
It feels like there's a thread that started
Yeah.
on your show about mothers and people who have passed away.
Yeah.
And it happened at the conference that I had a dream when my great-grandmother came in my dream, and we greeted each other, and it was just such a blessing. I've never dreamed of her before.
Ancestors. Wow. Do you want to tell us about your dream?
Well, the dream was I was knitting a sweater, and it was an Aran sweater, so the yarn would have come from Europe. Mm-hmm. And it was a very large sweater. However, I had been knitting it long years before and decided to finish it. and there was just half a sleeve left to knit. But there was only about 18 inches of yarn hanging from where I'd left off. But I knew there was more yarn in my knitting bag that was right next to me. And then all of a sudden there was a big wind came along, and then there was a big blue piece of material or tarp or something, a light blue, beautiful, like a sky blue color, that was blowing away from me. It was hanging somehow in front of me, and the wind was blowing it away from me. And I had a couple of plants that I wanted to protect, and I found little cubby holes to put them, one in the veranda, just in the corner, and another one in a tree. And then my dream changed, and I was totally in the sea, down in the sea. And I could see bubbles coming up, but I thought that it was from the plants at the bottom of the ocean, or that it was the water itself bubbling. And just the movement of the sea just felt so good. It was just like rocking me back and forth. And then all of a sudden I'm back sitting on my sofa out on the lawn, and a woman starts to come towards me, to approach me from the road, so she's quite far away when I see her. But as she comes forward, I recognize her as my great-grandmother, Maggie McNay.
Yeah, wow.
And so I'm so happy, and I get up to go and greet her, and there are words spoken, but I don't recall what the words are.
Right, maybe it's more about the feelings, not about the words.
But it was the feeling of just being connected and being together again, which I have never, of course, met her because she was my great-grandmother.
So she was long gone by the time you were born. But there's something about the ancestors, like you talked about the yarn from Europe, and
right,
and then here she is. Here's this woman. It's interesting how the water, how you dropped into the water, and then once you come back out, that she appears as if you went through some kind of a portal or something, some kind of.
That's sort of how it felt. That it was just so strange. It's like something just came, and I don't know. 1 minute I was sitting on my sofa, and the next minute I'm totally immersed in water.
Yeah, so something opened up here. I mean, there was like the wind that came from behind you somehow strangely, even though you were in the house. And as if
no, I was outside on the lawn, actually.
Oh, I see.
On the sofa on the lawn.
A sofa on the lawn. Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, and the wind came from behind me, which was very strange because that's where the house was. I was sitting right in front of the house, so it was very strange. But dreams are like that,
aren't they? They definitely are like that. But for me, one of the really, there's beautiful moments all through this dream, but one of the key things is just connecting with your great grandmother.
That's right, and
what a gift! What a gift!
I had really wanted at the conference to focus on the Indigenous traditions, ancestral dreaming,
right.
And I was so amazed how much of it there was offered this year, and I was just in heaven.
Yeah, yeah. I heard the keynote by Eduardo Duran, which I loved, and I know that you went to the Indigenous Dream Group, which met every afternoon. Is there anything that you want to share about that dream group?
The dream group was the most amazing experience. Every day was. We didn't do any interpretation or projections or anything. People just told their dreams, and while we told the dream slowly, The dream was scribed by one person of the team. Another team member, not the group that was coming to tell the dreams, but the team that the leader, Dr. Apila Colorado, she and her team, one scribed the dream, another one basically drew the dream. Another one actually did glyphs of the dream. And another one was, I believe, recording the dream or going to put sound to it afterwards. And in the end, it's like a collective dream. All of the dreams shared become a collective dream for the earth and for our ancestors.
So just sharing the dream. It was what was
sharing the dream as a collective. And it was quite amazing what came out of it. And then they put together beautiful correlation of the whole thing and posted it the next morning as, just visually, as a visual collective dream. And it will be probably on the website also.
I'd like to see those.
At some point.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
And the website would be the Worldwide Indigenous Science Network.
Maybe you could send me the link in. Is that the link you sent me actually the other day? I can post that on the show page on the episode.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I sent you the other day.
Wonderful. Well, I was just looking at my notes from Eduardo Duran, who talked about his indigenous dream practice, and there's a quote I want to bring in here which seems like it kind of ties in with really everything we've been talking about today, which is compassion is the wormhole to enlightenment.
Oh, it's wonderful.
It's not understanding or analysis or even action. It's compassion that is the wormhole to enlightenment. So I thought that was really a powerful thing to say, and the way that in your group they were able to hold the dreams and honor them by writing them down and by pictures without having to interpret. That I'm a big believer in just holding the space of the dream, and that there's a place for symbols and all, but sometimes just holding the dream is powerful.
And of course, different things come in that we share, like the polar bear. Several polar bears were in people's dreams. The cathedral and other things.
So the synchronicities.
A lot of animals, a lot of ancestral things that really, really do relate to ancestry and our ancestors.
Well, talking about family, the thread today, as you pointed out, was family. Like it started with sister, and then mothers, and great grandmothers, and that there's something about. I feel like we're moving backward in time, like into the space of the ancestors.
Yeah, it feels that way. So I thought I'd love to come on to just share that, because it just felt like we had started a thread. And
yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I so appreciate that you came on the air, Sylvia. It's great to talk to you.
Oh, thanks, Catherine, for all that you did for the conference too, and for your dream journal. It's quite wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad. Okay, well, take care, Sylvia.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Oh, bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
It was an amazing all-caller show for me today. Thank you, everybody. Next week, we will have as our guest Austrian author, psychologist, and expressive arts therapist, Johanna Vedral. We will talk about her creative approach called collage dream writing, in which intuitively created collages are experienced like dreams. This can be a playful and easy way to explore your inner landscapes. So tune in next week or look for the podcast, and podcasts are usually released Mondays at noon.
Stars
I am Catherine Bell, and this has been the Dream Journal. Thanks for listening. You can find out more about my dream coaching practice at experientialdreamwork.com, and you can email me at catherine@ksquid.org. That's KATHERINE at ksqd.org. Do contact me so I can sign you up for your free introductory dream consultation. If you like this show, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or send an email to the station here at info@ksqd.org, or tell a friend how much you're enjoying the show. I'd like to thank my program assistant, Max Deaton, and our creative musician, Rick Cleffel, who created an original composition for our ambient music again today. And we had 4 call-ins from Amanda, Susan, Lucille, and Sylvia. Thank you for being a Dream Journal listener and a Dream Journal caller. Thank you to all who support this fabulous radio station. We are 100% listener supported, and donations are always welcome at ksqd.org. And when you donate, be sure to tell them that you are a Dream Journal listener. When you wake up tomorrow morning, take a minute to look within. Do you remember a dream? Write it down and bring it to the next Dream Journal. Are you ready to wake up to the power of your dreams? I am Catherine Bell, and you are listening to KSQD Santa Cruz.